So I, 24F, have been with my, 25M, boyfriend for 6 years. 6 years we have built a life together, grown together, done everything together. He recently had to move away for a job, and I have felt uneasy about the move. He also happened to make friends with a girl, 20SF. I guess you can see where this is going. I have felt uncomfortable with their friendship from the start. We have argued about her, I have made him unfollow her, I have gone through their messages, and the whole time he has gaslit me, called me controlling, painted me as insane and insecure to both our families. It has caused great emotional distress to me, and strained my relationship with his mother, which used to be great. Through all his gaslighting, I even went to therapy to understand why I felt so awful about him being friends with this girl. Whether it was unresolved issues around the move, the physical distance between us, the fact that she sort of looks like another girl who had caused problems for us, etc. My boyfriend is also very good looking, and very much into training, has a very chiseled body, gets a lot of attention, etc. I also get a lot of attention, but I am a more private person and go out less, so get it nowhere near as much as him despite us being comparatively equal looks wise. So after about 2 months of therapy I get a DM on Instagram. It's a throwaway / alt account. No followers. And it's a screen recording of this girl's on the Vans. Didn't even know she had an account. It's not under her real name or attached to any of her socials, but I can see her face and know it's her. And she's doing content with my boyfriend. His face isn't in it, but I know his body, I know what he looks like, the noises he makes, the way he does stuff. I've been with him for 6 years. There's a video of her giving him head, a video of her taking back shots, a bunch of lewd / nudes of both of them, a bunch of graphic pictures of facials. Just so much stuff. All in all, it's like a 7-minute long screen recording. No message was sent with it. Just the recording. I have no idea who it was, or why they sent it. The account is only a month old. He moved away the start of January. I don't know how long they've been having sex for, or how the fuck they progressed to doing on the Vans together. But it's insane. 6 years thrown away for a girl he's known for a few months. And to do it in such an egregious way, to be blatant enough to film himself and put it on the fucking internet. It's disgusting. Painting me out to be insane, making me go to therapy, ruining my reputation within both our families. The whole time he's been fucking lying, and filming himself cheating on me. He has been spending more money than usual. Going away, traveling, partying, going to restaurants with his new friends, buying designer clothes, etc. I was under the impression he was working a lot, but nope. Probably just got some extra cash doing fucking porn with some fucking Trump. I hate him so much. He's a piece of shit. I hate what he did to me and us. I want to just post the screen recording in our joint family group chat. Let them all know I'm not fucking crazy, he's just a fucking piece of shit. I'd give this as revenge porn. I mean, it's already on the internet, posted willingly. I don't even know if I care. I want him to suffer, I want him to hurt, to feel humiliated. I fucking hate him. ETA, I'm going to bed. And as it's been said 1000x, I'm just going to let you all know. I googled it, and under law where I live, it isn't under the umbrella of revenge porn, as it was willingly posted to the internet by him himself. It is considered copyright infringement at worst, but is a civil matter, not criminal. And even then, I didn't actually leak the content, whoever sent it to me did. He might be able to get me on copyright laws, but like I said, that would be a civil matter. The worst I'd get is a fine, if even that. Still, I'll see how I feel in the morning. Some relevant info. 1. Did you ever have any idea he had cheated? I had no idea he cheated, ever. I had one girl he used to work with at his last job, the one who looks like she could be a twin of this current girl, message me and claim she was fucking him. But she had literally no proof. Not a single text, not a photo, not a screenshot, not a phone call record, nor a single person willing to corroborate what she said. He had a plethora of work colleagues tell me the girl was obsessed with him and a little crazy and most likely lying. I chose to believe my boyfriend of, at the time, 5 years. She ended up quitting work and moving 80+ miles away with her reputation in ruins, and everyone at their job treating her like she had the plague. That poor woman was probably looking out for me, and I was so horrible to her. 2. This all happened very quickly. How did you get a therapist so soon? I had already had a therapist, who I had been with for 3 years. I felt like I was in a good place mentally to say goodbye to her in December. I got back in touch mid-January when I felt my mental health deteriorating again. I honestly have no idea if I am actually severely mentally ill, or if I have just been psychologically tortured by this piece of human shit. 3. You seem a little unhinged, you sure you're not crazy? I have always had some mild OCD, as well as fairly bad anxiety, hence me going out much less than him. That is what he used to paint me as insane. When I say he gaslit me, I mean it in the purest definition of the word. He literally used my history of mental suffering to paint me as literally insane. Oh, it's your OCD, you're ruminating about this girl, your anxiety is getting really bad, it's just because I'm not around, stuff like that. 4. Why would you want to subject his family to that? I don't. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was in pain, I have never felt rage like that. It would have been wrong. Even if he deserved it, which he absolutely did, fuck him, they did not. 5. How can you be certain she knows about you? She could also be a victim? LOL. Lamau even. No. She's a fucking piece of shit home-wrecking whore who deserves the worst. I am listed as in a relationship with him on his social media, which she follows. She purposefully did not accept my own follow requests, probably because she has been posting him there too. Oh, and I also found her Twitter, which isn't private, and she has been liking tweets about sneaky links and that sort of stuff for around a month now, which was fueling my instincts. 3 days ago she liked a tweet saying why is sex so much better when it's with someone it's not supposed to be with. She is a literal fucking Trump. And proud of it. Update 1. So, I slept on it, woke up about 2 hours ago to him posting holiday pictures in the family GC right now. I had my suspicions, but I got my cousin to follow the girl on IG, she is private, and she just so happens to be in the same country he is right now LMFAO. What a coincidence. Yep. They're both in Paris as we speak. How romantic. I did what many Redditors suggested. I used a text template made by one of you, thank you so much, because if I had tried to send that text, I'd have come across as unhinged. I said, hello guys, I've recently had a video leaked to me that shows X having sex and performing various other intimate acts with another woman. I didn't think it would be appropriate to share such a video here, but I will provide it as asked. This woman, specifically, is the one I had been concerned about for a while, and we was actually all led to think I was crazy for suspecting that something more was going on between them. It's distressing to find out that I was right. I'm sad that X could do something so disgusting, and I'm sad that I didn't trust my gut. Despite us being together 6 years, this man has shown himself to be an utterly vile human being who has betrayed my trust and hurt me deeply. I was committed to him whilst he was sneaking around behind my back and calling me insecure for my gut instincts. He twisted the knife again and again and tried to ruin my reputation with you all, whilst knowing he wasn't telling the truth the entire time. This is the end, and I want you all to know why in case he decides to lie again. Also, he is most likely with her in Paris as we speak, as _ follow the girl, and they just so happen to be in the same country right now. Here is all the proof. I love you all, and I think what hurts the most, more than this, more than the money wasted on therapy, more than the cheating, is that not a single one of you had my back. Here is the attached evidence. Don't worry, nothing graphic. But I have plenty of truly horrible videos and pictures if any of you still don't trust that I'm not insane. Please just give me some space, and do not reach out for now. I then attached the screenshots of her Instagram story, which show them in the same club in Paris at the same time, a screenshot of the video which takes place in his room, with me scribbling out the explicit stuff on my iPhone editor thing, along with a side-by-side comparison of a picture I took after I had finished decorating his room with him, and a lewd picture of him topless which I think best proves it's him/his body. I then left the group chat. Within 10 minutes he started calling, so I blocked him everywhere. His mum texts me saying I'm so sorry. I love you so much, and always will. Call if you need anything. I'll give you your space, sweetheart, but please do not hesitate to call me anytime. I love you like my own, please know that, which honestly turned me into a fucking wreck. His little sister, who is 20 and who is amazing, turned up and just hugged me. She didn't even say anything, we just both sat here cried. She said I hope I don't lose you when she left and hugged me again. I told her she never would. Honestly, I'm a mess right now. My parents are at work and unlikely to see the mess until at least lunchtime if then. That's basically it. Thank you for everyone who took the time out of your day to message me and comfort me. Thank you for talking me out of doing something truly disgusting to the people who I do still love. They would not have disturbed to see what I had to see. I'm going to go cry myself to sleep, I think. I only slept like 3 hours last night. Update 2, holy fuck, so I've just been informed, by his sister, he has blocked his mom and sister, after they both chastised him in the GC, and has now proudly displayed the link to the of in his Instagram bio. Glad I helped him to be his unapologetic self. Hope his new career choice goes well. Fucking loser. I still haven't heard from my parents yet, they get out of work around 5 to 6, but his mom has said I'm welcome to go and hang out with her as she doesn't want me to be alone. I'm going to get ready now and just go watch some Moff's house, maybe have a cheeky glass of wine. That was our little thing. Just because he's choosing to throw away this amazing group of people, our parents, and our sisters, doesn't mean I have to do the same. Family is who is there for you in your time of need, and they are the family I choose. He can choose his of whore if he wants. Good riddance. At least I won't have to see him when I hang out with his mum/sis. Update 3, so I went to his mum's place and sat there with her and his sister watching Moss. We didn't really talk about anything, just had a glass of wine and watched TV. Eventually I said I wanted to go to the toilet and I decided to go into his old room and everything just got too much. So many memories, so many moments that I had cherished so much, so long spent laying there just hanging out and stuff. I had a really bad panic attack and ended up just breaking down and I felt like I was going to faint. They came up and checked on me and we all just sat in his room crying. This may sound pathetic, And I'd love to pretend I'm some boss babe, but honestly I don't think I've ever felt so lost and broken in my life. I loved that man. Like I really loved him with my whole heart. I had since the day I met him. I can't believe it's over. It doesn't even feel like a breakup, it feels like the love of my life has just died. Like it feels like a death. I feel numb. It got too much and his mom drove me home once my parents had finished work. Our sisters went and picked up my car while his mom spoke to my parents. I think I was in a state of shock. I couldn't speak, everything just sounded muffled like I was underwater. I fell asleep, and only just woke up now. It's 11:39, everyone is in bed, and I'm wide awake. I truly feel lost. Part of me wants to call him, to cry, to beg him to find a way to make everything okay, to tell me it isn't true, to turn back time. I know that's stupid, I know I deserve better, but I have spent every week of my life with him since the day we met. I don't know how to exist without him. I feel like I can't breathe. I just want this all to be a bad dream. Now on to the next story. Story 2. Wife asked me for an open relationship, then later caught her with app at home, so I did this. Ever since I was a child, I knew I wanted to have a family of my own. I didn't like the family I grew up in, so I started to tell myself I would do better if I ever got the chance. In high school, I met the girl that would become my wife. On the nights when my stepdad felt like blaming me for the family's problems, she would meet me at the forsaken playground gazebo. She brought sleeping bags, pillows, snacks, and a tablet to watch movies on. It was lucky we lived in a southern state, where sleeping outside wasn't a problem much of the year. Nothing ever bothered us in that gazebo. Not even bugs. I was convinced at this point that she was my guardian angel, and I would marry her. After the nonsense that is high school was finally over, we got married at 18 years old. Her parents weren't thrilled, but they knew me for years at this point. They allowed us to live together in the basement of their house. Meanwhile, my wife was the sweetest, most understanding woman in the world. She truly loved me. She chose me to be her husband, so I made it my life goal to improve our lives together. We each started working. Neither of us liked our jobs very much, but it was just so we could start accumulating some money. My wife knew how to be selfless and get things done. After 10 months of working full-time, we had earned enough money to buy our own trailer home. It was considerably nicer and larger than the basement. Together, we could afford the lot rent and all the bills we acquired. My wife was lucky enough to get a job she wanted to work for the rest of her life. I, on the other hand, was diagnosed with early onset fibromyalgia. I had intense pain all over my body that was hard to ignore. I tried working through it, and I couldn't. I got a type of pain medicine meant to block the pain receptors, but this made me feel like I was in a dream, and completely unable to focus on the tasks at hand. I felt stupid and worthless. During this time, I stopped working and stayed in bed a lot. My wife was my rock and peace. She continued doing what she loved, and started taking care of me when she got home. She cooked meals for me, washed my clothes, and vowed not to judge or hate me for what was happening. It was the kind of unconditional love I felt I didn't deserve but always wanted. Eventually I felt well enough to start painting miniatures. These little game pieces and models are actually worth a lot of money when they're painted well. I never realized my knack for painting until this part of my life, when I felt trapped in my own body. It was just what I needed to boost my confidence and finances. I was able to sell these figures for 4x the amount I paid for them. My wife was extremely happy for me, and encouraging. Things started to change when my wife realized how great it would be for us to start going on hikes and traveling together. I knew she was getting bored with the daily routine and needed to have some adventure, so I started taking her out on dates. Considering how I felt, I usually suggested things like restaurants, plays, darts, pottery, the cat cafe, or karaoke night at the bar on the corner. Sometimes even some of those took a lot of energy and brain power I just didn't have, but I did my best to show my wife I could be her man. 5 years after moving into the trailer, my wife didn't want to do these dates anymore. She really wanted to start going on hikes and doing things I just didn't want to do. I suggested she go without me and try to find a group of people to go with. She was all too willing to do that. It was like she was relieved that I suggested it. A few days later, she returned from what she claimed to be her first hiking trip with a group of people from an app she found. She was extremely happy when she told me about the hike, admitting that she mostly talked to one person, who was extremely nice and outgoing. My wife called this friend a she, but I wondered if she was lying because of how my wife spoke to me and made eye contact. I just told her I was glad she was happy and hoped that wherever she went, she would remember how much I loved her. She blushed, said she always would, and kissed me. A few days after that, my wife asked me why I never went out with any of my friends. I told her I didn't need any friends. I was an introverted loner, and stronger for it. All I needed was myself and my wife. She smiled and went quiet. The very next day, she told me her dad needed help moving some stuff out of the basement. This was the exact kind of request I hated. I agreed to do it, and headed to their house knowing that it wasn't going to be pleasant. When I returned home, I could have sworn I saw a car back out of my driveway before speeding away. The timing was just close enough that I could see it from far away. I entered the house and asked my wife who was just here. She froze in her tracks, looking like a deer in the headlights. She slowly told me that no one was here, it was just her. I looked around and smelled the air like I was some kind of hound. My wife's face was turning red, even though her body didn't move. I searched the house and our bedroom for any clues while she remained silent. It was weird. I found half a footprint by the front door, like someone's shoes were wet and they stepped on the rug before taking them off. The shoe print didn't look like ours, Booty couldn't rule it out. I sat on our bed and just had a gut feeling that something was wrong. My wife appeared in the doorway with her arms crossed. She called me Sherlock when she asked if I found anything. I walked up to her and tried to playfully pull her into the bed with me, but she refused, claiming she had to make dinner. 1 month later, my wife had gone on 2 more hiking trips. She took selfies with the group and supposedly pointed out the girl she'd been getting along with. Even though my wife had tried to suggest I get out of the house too, I didn't unless it was with her. I didn't feel right about leaving her in the house alone. I was painting in the spare room one evening, expecting my wife to get home much later. I felt a very faint thud on the floor. It was so faint that I thought it might have been the refrigerator or AC kicking on. A few minutes later, I had a terrible urge to walk around the house. I went into the living room, looked out the window, and didn't see my wife's car in the driveway. I got a drink from the kitchen, and as soon as I started to head back to the spare room, I heard something. I couldn't tell what it was, but I went to our bedroom door and found that it was locked. I was extremely confused, because you can only lock the door from the inside. I got a lockpick and popped it open, which is when I heard my wife's worried voice. The door swung open, and I saw a naked man I didn't recognize get off my wife, grab his clothes, and leap out the open window. My wife was half covering herself with blankets, looking at me like a lost puppy. She started saying how sorry she was, but as soon as I started losing my mind, asking her what the heck I just saw, she got defensive. She said I wasn't an adventurous or active man, which really bothered her. With my voice cracking, I asked her if that gave her a right to cheat on me. To break our vows, in our own bedroom, while I was in the other end of the house. She was crying hysterically, defending herself while also admitting she was wrong. My vision started to spin, and I passed out. When I came to, she was crying over me. I told her to leave. She said she couldn't because she was my wife. I told her she wasn't anymore, so she went to call her mom. When her mom realized what happened, she told her daughter how despicable she was. I knew she was being lectured because my wife couldn't get a word in. She was whining, beside herself, until her mom showed up at my house. She asked me if I was going to divorce her daughter the way she deserved, and I said yes. She immediately went to start grabbing her essentials so she could move out. My wife was just screaming. She wouldn't stop saying sorry and begging me for another chance. I barely had the strength to look at her and tell her how much she broke me. I didn't feel the intense love I had built for her over the years. It was immediately gone, leaving a gaping metaphorical hole. She said she felt the same hole, and that we could fill it by staying together and refusing to give up on our marriage. I told her she broke it, and it was shattered. There's no sense in keeping tiny, itty-bitty pieces of a shattered relationship. She didn't agree with my metaphor. She believed we could stay together, but only because she was the one that messed up. If it was me that would have messed up, she would have refused to forgive me. She admitted that in court when the judge asked her how she'd feel if it was the other way around. I was not ordered to pay alimony, and I got to keep my house. The joke's on her, because I started making a crazy amount of money every month with my miniature painting. I invented my own group strategy game, which sold for over 6 figures. It's been years and my wife is still single, living in the basement we started out in. I've remarried and handled my marriage in the same way I did my first one, except this time, my wife is actually worth it.